What's up, guys? It is Caleb back with the Wingin It Outdoors. Just bringing you guys an episode today, basically just going over my saddle setup and exactly how I climb the tree. For those of you that haven't tried saddle hunting yet, it's a real big game changer and I could not recommend it more. I just recently started last year, so I'm by no means an expert. I'm just showing you guys the setup that works for me. So the saddle that I've got right here is an XOP. I want to say this is their Mondo model, if I remember right. Really, really solid saddle. It's really well built and durable. I've taken this thing through a little bit of every type of country, and I haven't had any problems with it yet. It's done me really good. So I'll just go through the basics on how I put this thing on. Cool thing I like about this is that it has the built-in safety harness as well. So if you're stand hunting, you can just clip into this loop back here, and it's got the shoulder straps and everything, so it actually doubles as a safety harness as well. But so one thing that I like to do, I like to keep my lineman's belt on there, and then I just kind of step into it, and then you've got these shoulder straps here, and I throw these bad boys around my shoulders. I just keep them on because I never know if I'm going to be climbing in a climber or sitting in a traditional stand. Maybe one of these days on one of my properties I've got permission to hunt, and so I like to keep it on there. You've got your waist belt, clicks in there, and then I just kind of tighten it around. Don't judge my big gut now, I just ate dinner. But you've got that. You've got your leg straps right here. These just click in easily. Got this one right here. All these spots that click in are 110% adjustable too. I personally like leaving my my leg straps a little bit looser, or more loose than most people, but that's just because I don't like that wedgy feeling that you get from wearing these things sometimes. So I usually do about like this, and then I've got my carabiners and everything here and an extra carabiner there. So I'm going to go ahead and start the process of climbing this tree. Typically, whenever I'm climbing, I'll have my pack on, and I'll go ahead and I like to leave my pockets unzipped that have all my equipment in it, just so that way it's easier access for me to grab before I actually start climbing the tree. I mean, obviously you don't have to do this, but it takes up a lot more time as you're climbing if you don't have them already kind of open, if that makes sense. So, and I'm probably going to look a little bit awkward. This is actually my second time this off season practicing with the saddle again, so don't judge me too bad. But I leave this pack on like that, and then as I'm walking in, I'll have this around my neck, and then I'll also have my actual tether that I'm going to attach to the tree around my neck as well, just until I start climbing. This is my Hawk helium stick. This is the only thing that I use. I want to say it's like a 31 inch. And then I've got an 8er on there as well. I think it's a 5-ring 8er that makes it a lot easier for one sticking. So for those of you that don't know what one sticking is, it is the process of using a single climbing stick as opposed to holding 3 or 4 of the sticks on you. To be completely honest, I don't want to pay the money for a full set of climbing sticks, so I just started trying the one stick method, and it worked for me. I like the convenience of it, and it's pretty nice not having to pack up everything else. So as you guys can see, this is my 8er right here, and this just gives me a little bit better height advantage when it comes to climbing up the tree. So I'm going to have my cameraman pan it over here to the tree. Now this isn't a very good example by any means. This tree is very crooked, so just kind of bear with me. I'm actually at the house right now. I'm not out in the deer woods because it is hotter than Hades out here. But stereotypically, you know, this tree has good bark. One of the things I look for is a good solid bark that I'm not going to have to worry about my sticks or my platform kicking out of or crushing the bark off of, and this is a real solid one. So what I do typically is I kind of aim for this bottom suction button for if you have multiple sticks. I'll go ahead and aim for it to be about chin level with me. And then from there, I hold it with my chin And then I'm gonna wrap this around here. I try to keep my strap about as even as I can with where it's going to attach at. And then these Hawk helium sticks have these neat little grooves in the actual strap that goes around the trunk of the tree that will allow you to get a safe bite. So mine slid down a little bit, and that's okay because this is just for example, but to get this thing to really bite in, I'm gonna pull down on it as well as use my aider rung here to really get it to bite into that bark. And I don't know if you guys could hear that on my mic, but it audibly bit. And I'll usually go ahead and do a couple of test bounces and make sure that we're good to go. And then from there, I like to take this strap and I just kind of set it over this top rung like that. It makes it real easy for me to grab once I get up and actually start doing my climbing. Keep in mind, I also don't have my knee pads on me as well. So I'm probably gonna look like I'm a little bit uncomfortable, and that's because my knees are gonna be raw dogging this bark. So just bear with me. So I'm gonna go ahead and start the climbing process that I do, and I will climb up. I'll use this aider rung, get up here, and then from there, I'm gonna grab the tree. First thing I do is I tuck my knees behind the stick, and what that does is it just basically gives me more security. I know there's several people out there that won't do that, but I just like to have a little other sense of security as well. It just makes me feel a little bit more confident in my setup. From there, I take my tether rope and I'm gonna tuck it on my waist loop for a minute. I'm gonna reach down here and grab my carabiner for my lineman's belt. I'm gonna undo that carabiner just like that. I'm gonna wrap it around like so. And then from there, I'm going to go ahead, click all this stuff back in here. And then from here, I can use this knot right here to tighten or loosen depending on the thickness of the tree. So if you were going to climb just using sticks, this would be the traditional method that I would use personally to go ahead and get up the tree. But now, since I'm one sticking, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this tether and I'm going to put it here and I'm going to run these back through there just like this, and then I'm going to run it up a little bit about to here, maybe just a little bit taller. And then what I'm going to actually do is undo this. Since I'm one sticking, I'm going to put this out front like so. So I don't have this around the tree anymore. It's just sitting right in front of me. I am technically not attached to the tree right now. So what I do instantly after that is go ahead and lock into my tether. This is going to provide me a safe connection where I'm not going to have to worry if I was to fall. Technically, I could hunt just like this right here. I like to go ahead and give a test tug, pull on my ropes. So technically, we're already ready to hunt. I know several other hunters out there that actually don't even use a platform. I like the advantage of using a platform because it also allows me to be able to tuck up and in, and I can rotate and kind of wrap myself around my tether and I can stand up straight. Gives me a little bit more extra back support and stuff like that at times if I'm doing all day sits. So from here, you're basically ready to hunt if you wanted to, but I'm gonna go ahead and show the one stick method. So what I'm gonna do, and keep in mind, this tree is not straight, so it's gonna look a little bit awkward. I'm gonna go right around here and prop my knees up against that tree. So from here, I can pull up. This climbing stick is going to come loose. I can grab it and I can pull it up. Run this over here on this side. Like I said, it's the off season, so I'm a little bit out of practice. I'm probably sound fat and out of shape right now, and that's mostly because I am. But I try to give myself a little bit of some swing. And then I normally catch it with my foot, but I'm not doing a very good job at doing that today. So now that I've caught that, I can let that go. I can hang on to my stick without hitting myself in the head. Pull the slack up out of it. And then from there, once you get your rope for your climbing stick about where you want it, you can start to pull it up. Once I get up here a good ways, I like to try and angle that rope up. It'll help your stick not sink down as much. And then from there, I can sink this down some more. I can kick my feet out, put one foot into this aider here, put my weight down to sink that platform in, and I can continue from that point to climb up. And then from this point, you can either extend your tether out, or you can keep it to the point that you're at. So let's just say, theoretically speaking, that I want to hunt from this height. So what I then would do is I've got a little hook that I would normally put my backpack on right here. But since I'm just kind of doing a tutorial video here, I'm not going to use that hook. But I've got my platform in there. I've already unzipped my backpack. I can grab that platform out of there. I need a bigger pack, honestly. So we're going to grab this platform now. This is why you don't cheap out on your pack, because it turns into wasted time. So from here, I've got my platform. If you wouldn't mind, will you move that camera right over here where they can get a better side view? Like I said, I am at home right now, so you guys might see some car traffic or whatever else. Just pay no mind to it, please. So from that point, I go ahead and throw this backpack back on, and then say we want to hunt about right here. I actually like to keep my platform not out and expanded. I'm going to tuck my knees back in and wrap my legs around this platform, or not the platform, the climbing sticks. And then from there, I can reach back around. I can grab this loop, put this here, and then I can pull my slack out. Just like that. And so now that I've got that here, I slide that platform down a little bit. Then once I do that, I'll then fold my platform down just like that. And then that is going to allow me to have a good solid bite once I step on the platform. If I can grab this backpack strap. So now I'll pull on my tether, give myself some leverage, and step up, give it a couple of test jumps, make sure we're good and sturdy. And then from here, you can really get into the adjusting and fine tuning of your tether to make it the most comfortable. So one thing I do like about XOP is they keep these ropes plenty long enough, so if you're ever climbing a bigger tree, you're not very limited in the size of the tree that you can climb. So I normally just take this excess rope and I'll kind of wrap it through my waist belt and tuck it in on the other side. And then from here, as you can see, we're hunting. So the advantages of saddle hunting is that if you've got a straight up tree, you can curve all the way around either side. This one's tilted, so I can't really test out the full range of motion. But you're totally secure up here, guys. It's not bad at all. Super comfortable. I mean, like I said the other day, I've taken naps in mine. So really comfortable, really nice way to hunt, and the possibilities are pretty much endless as to where you can go. You know, you don't have to worry about burning out that one stand that you've got or that one tower blind that you've got. You can fly by the seat of your pants, essentially. You can go to whatever tree you want to. So now what I'm going to go through is the process that I take to rappel down the tree. So once I'm done, I'll let my slack out and grab this extra length that I've got right here, and I'll go ahead and max it out. There's two different ways that you can really do it. This is the way that I prefer to do it. By the time I'm to the end of my hunt, I'm not really worried about making noise unless there's some deer near me. So I normally pick that up right there, and then I'm gonna loosen my tether, which at this point, once you put weight on it, gets pretty tight. So just heads up on that. And then I'll slowly let myself down. I'm gonna reach over here. See, this tree's not straight, so I'm flying everywhere. Then I pull up. And then from there, I can grab my stick. Just like that. I've still got my platform here, so I can let this thing back down if I can keep from swinging around this crooked tree. Just like that. I can prop this up right here. I can grab a hold of my tether, put my foot into the tree, walk up, get up to my platform, pull myself up. Just like that. From there, I'll fold all this stuff up, pull this stuff to the other side of me, and then I just kind of wrap it as much as I can until I don't have a bunch of excess stuff banging and clanging around. So it's nothing special. I normally sort it out once I get back to the vehicle. So from there, I'll come back here, grab my pack, hopefully not drop my pack, stick that in here, and then I'll zip up on either side. From here, I'll grab my rappel rope along with my 8 tool is what I call it. It's just the easy, simple descender. I don't use any of the mechanical ones just because I kind of have a hard time trusting those. So from there, I've got my rappel rope in here, along with, it's in this little XOP bag that they give you. So I take this, and then I've got a bag inside of another bag, wouldn't you know? Then I pull this rappel rope out, just like that. And the neat thing about this XOP bag is you've got your molly loops that you can hang this on. So I come right over here, click that into there, just like that, and it's not going to go anywhere. From there, I just kind of let that fall. Then I'm going to come up here. Got my other rope here for helping me get this thing off of here. Because that was a mistake I made at first whenever I first started, was I came out here and was showing my wife, hey, look what I can do. I can climb up tall on this tree, blah, 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 blah. And my dumb self forgot to attach my other rope to get the rappel rope off. So at this point, what I like to do is I go ahead and I grab my lineman's belt, take it off, wrap it around here. So that way if I do by chance slip off my platform, I'm not going to go anywhere. It might not be fun and it'll hurt you a little bit, but it's a lot better than falling way far down there. So at this point, I take this, I wrap it around the tree, just like this. So I've got my rappel rope through this other carabiner, which is rated for rappelling. I've done this multiple times and never had any problems. So I throw that other end down there, and then I just start to feed this through here. So once you get to here, you're going to go ahead, and I put this about head height, just like that. So we're locked in right there, and then you're gonna see me grab this out and go, hey, what the heck is this for? So this is what I use to pull my bow up, as well as get my rappel rope down. So typically this isn't in the rubber band still, so bear with me. Then from there, I keep my rubber band in my little pouch. I drop this, and then all I'm gonna do is just carabiner off onto this other carabiner, which can be a little bit tricky sometimes. Well, I got that thing cinched on there. So just like that. Then I tighten that back up, and I'm just gonna let this guy hang free like that, right? And then from there, I can take my figure 8 here, and I can figure out how I got this thing on here in the first place. I see it now. So I've got mine just looped through, so I take it off that bag there, just like that. And then from here is where it gets fun. So you're gonna take a loop, just like this, and then you're gonna run it back through, just like that, right? And then from there, you pull your slack up off of this thing. Okay, so now I've got my repeller on, my 8 is what I call it, and I've got this rope. So I'm gonna sit down, slowly start letting this out, just like this. And you can either stay in kind of the squatted position, like I'm doing, because I'm on this tree and it's very crooked. As you guys can see, it's wanting to take me every which direction. And so I get down to here, pick my saddle platform up while keeping a tight grip on this rappel rope, just like that. Kind of shimmy myself back over here without going too far over. Let my slack out on this while I'm swinging around like Miley Cyrus in the Wrecking Ball video. And then I'm gonna grab this here, just like that. That comes free. I normally just let it drop, honestly. And then from there, I can start to slowly rappel down the tree. Now that we're here and we're safely back on the ground, we can go ahead, we can undo this. Also be careful, because this 8 tool will get pretty hot. So this is where our rope comes into play that we put up there, that I've got attached to that other carabiner. You can go ahead and pin it up that way. So from here, I'm just gonna pull. See that? And then from there, you just kind of give her a couple of jiggles. You might have to go around the other side of the tree if you're using a tree with some pretty aggressive bark. And then from there, you're down.